Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Richard from WELSHYTECH, and today we are reviewing the lianli HydroShift II LCD-S 360CL. Okay, so this is the lianli HydroShift II LCD-S 360CL. So the CL will be the fans. They are the newer fans they've had. Now this one is the white version, and it does come with a 3.4-inch display. So let's open the box and have a look. Okay, so first of all, you're greeted with this little card, thank you for your purchase, and then you've got the manual. Now this will actually tell you how to install, because this is the installation guide as well. It'll tell you everything that's included inside the box. But there, it will also give you a diagram of like how to install it when it comes to the block, the radiator, the thermal paste, and so forth in different languages. So we'll get this off now. Okay, so you're greeted with the packaging. Now it does come with this little screwdriver. This is primarily for Intel, because obviously this does do two different sockets, Intel as well as AMD. So for the AMD socket, these are the brackets you get. Now they're not exactly white, they look more like a grey, but this is how it installs. You put this into the back plate, which is quite easy, and that's it for the AMD brackets. Now, what's interesting with the Intel bracketry is it's just like the other ones. The other version of this is the installation of this one's a bit rather different. This one uses the backplate, obviously, because Intel doesn't have one. But then it uses these little threads then, these little screws, and you've got to be careful while threading them, because you can damage them. So, yeah. Okay, so that's the bracketry for Intel. Now, the accessory box, this will probably have like the screws, it'll probably have the cables, yeah. So it's got the cables here, it's got the standoffs, it's got this, it's got the stuff there to actually hook the AIO into your case. It's got the extension cables, it's got the thermal paste, it's got these little braided, or these little clips here. These are for the actual tubes. And that's it for the accessories. Then, of course, then you do get this. And what I'll do now is I'll get rid of this and I'll grab or take this out of the box. Okay, so this is the first look. Now, these are the CL fans. I did use these, the black versions, in a recent PC build with lianli products. Now, this screen does come off, and that is the size of the screen. It is 3.4 inches in size, and it's just done by magnets with a poker pin. And then, of course, if you've seen any of the Hydro series of these AIOs, they are tubed already. It's just primarily for better looks. And to be honest, I use the CL, the HydroShift AIO without the one that doesn't come with fans, because I added the CL ones myself. But I use the black one, and this does make everything look a lot nicer. So you get the fans, then of course then you get the brackets here, you get the radiator. Ooh, look at that. Oh, wow. Now that is gorgeous. So that's what's going to be on the front. That's gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous. I like that. That's really nice. So we get the pump, which is all here, which is basic standard cables, which is standard. So the 4 pins by here, as these are the wireless fans. So let's get to the specs. Okay, so first of all, we'll get to the actual screen. Now, the screen's an LCD. It's 3.4 inches. This is a 60 Hz display. The LCD resolution is 480 by 480 in pixels. The screen brightness is 500 nits. The block dimensions are 91 by 99 by 62. The pump speed ranges between 1600 and 3200 RPM. The radiator dimensions are 400 by 122 by 24. The fan dimensions are 124 by 120 by 28. 8 there, that's the thickness. The fan speeds are ranging between 200 to 2100 RPM. The bearing type on the fans are an FDB bearing. As for the sockets, this does actually support. It supports LGA 1700, 1851, AM4 and AM5. This does come obviously with the Intel 1700 and 1851 backplate, which is backwards compatible. So let's get this on the test bench and see how good this is. Okay, so when it comes to the installation, first of all, what you want to do is grab the mounting brackets for AMD specifically. Now, they are only keyed one way, so you can't replace or swap them over because they only go one direction. If you see on there, it's got CPU with an arrow. So what you want to do is place one here, like that, on there. The other one there. Right, so that's that done. Then, what you want you to do is grab a magnetic screwdriver, grab these, which are the screws, so you want to screw these in as well. A magnetic screwdriver will make it a lot easier, just so you can hold the screw. Both you do through all 4 sides, and then we'll be back. Okay, with them screwed down now, what you want to do is grab thermal paste, place it down. Just like that. Then that's done. Now, what you want to do now is place this here. Now, you'll see these, like, clips. That's where the clips, but there, and that side, that's where they go. So what you want to do is place it down like this. Down. Like that. Over the threads. And then like that. Now it will stay there, but then what you need is these. These are the retention nut. So what you want to do is place one side. Now this will be like a 4-point system, so best doing it in a crisscross pattern. Just get them situated on the threads at first, on all the sides. Now these will just bottom out, just so you know, but of course I need to show you how to do it. Now, once that's done, like that, then what you do is you do a crisscross pattern. So you do one there, 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 and then we'll be back. Okay, so start with this one that you started with. Screw it down a little. You don't want to screw it all the way down. You want to screw it down there, that way. Then that one, like that. Then you want to screw there. Now, having a ratchet screwdriver would definitely help you, but you don't necessarily need one. As long as you've got a screwdriver and you screw it all the way down, you shouldn't have to worry about the mounting pressure. Quite there we are, and that's it for that. Now let's get on to the cables. Right, so these are the cables. These are the ones that actually control the pump as well as the fan. But what I did was put it here like that, and then I put that one in the CPU header. Then of course then you're gonna have to cable manage it yourself, but that's it for them cables. Now, right at the bottom of your motherboard now, right, you've got that there, which is called a USB. These are the USB 2 connectors on your motherboard. So these are the ones are mainly for connecting up screens or power hubs, some that do require a USB header. So I'll take this out now. As you can see, that is the cable for the screen, and as you see it says USB on it. Well, it goes in one of those headers. Now you put it down like that, and that's it for that. And to actually do the screen or place the screen is actually quite easy, because you've got to take off the screen to install it. But this is the screen by here. The connection is done by Pogos, or these by your these little connections there. So there's the screen. All you want to do is place it there, down, and it will cover up everything. As for the installation, that's pretty much it. This is the Lianli HydroShift LCD-S, and this is the fans at 50%. Basically silent at 50%. Same thing, but 100% fan speed. Yes, they are louder, but they aren't the loudest fans I've ever heard. Okay, so this is the L-Connect software. So what I'm going to show you first of all is system information through the actual software first of all. Now, none of this will actually show on the display, but this is just giving you the system resource of your system. It'll tell you like your GPU, your CPU voltage, the wattage, and it'll also tell you how much RAM you're using. And then it comes to system specs, and when you can click on one, it'll give you the actual information like manufacturer, the overall date, and all that so forth. Now, when it comes to the actual pump and the fans, you can control them through the software. Now, you can either do a fixed curve like I usually do with my fans. I like them at a certain RPM, so then they're not quiet, but they're not the loudest either. So, obviously, it's got a couple of presets here. Quiet, stand speed, high speed, and then full speed. And it's exactly the same thing with the pump. You can do that, but it's either a fixed RPM or it's a PWM preferred. Means you could actually adjust it yourself. But that's up to you. Now, when it comes to like the actual software as such, this is going to change the color of what's there. Now, you can go from rainbow, rainbow morph, static color, breathing, meteor, or runaway. Now, if you click it, it'll automatically do it. As you can see on the screen, it will just sync up with it, which this is one thing I do like about particularly Lianli products. The software is very easy, and when it comes to like actual lighting, it looks amazing. Now, let's get to the actual screen. So, it does have loaded different presets. You can just go to customize, or you can do links, the light sync on. Now, this is the LCD preset, so you've got load of presets here. And quite honestly, the snappiness of just applying it is ridiculous. Look how fast that is. I'm doing this in real time. And this is where you can actually control the lighting for the lighting around the screen, or you can do the pump speed, and then it's just the LCD. Now, there's loads of different presets. They're very easy to navigate through. There's actually loads of different ones. Now you can change the background. You can put it up a image and animations, materials and editing, screen capture, or screen recording, which I find cool. Then you can go custom theme. This is where you'd actually upload your own, and then obviously you do the information, you do it all yourself. That obviously is going to be a lot easier, but there's got loads of different customization here where you can add the time and so forth, the date, and then you've got additional, and this will actually is able to function as a secondary screen, which I find very, very cool. When it comes to like updating it, of course, then you've got to go settings, you go to device, you click that, and then that'll be device by that. And then when it comes to the software, then you'll click software on there. Then these are the beta softwares. You go to firmware. This is where you check for updates. Then is the sensor setting. This is where you will actually change what temperatures are actually shown. You can change it from the L3 cache to the hotspots, the averages, the which CCD you want actually shown. Then it goes exactly the same thing when it comes to like GPU graphics, the cores, the CPU fan system, CPU power. Basically, you can change everything. Then there's support where you can download a log, and then you can also report an issue. But as for the software, it's very easy, very, very easy to use, and I quite like the software. Okay, so when it comes to the overall test system I use for testing, well, it is my AM5 platform. So Ryzen 9 7900, got 32 gigs of APS at DDR5. It's got an RX 7800 XT. It's also got a 1000 watt cooling power supply, and it's also housed in the Be Quiet Shadow Base 800 FX with 4 140 Lightning fans. Right. So when it comes to the overall benchmarkings, my normal run of tests, it is at 50% and 100% fan speed. And here we go, 50% fan speed. The CPU power draw at high was 166 watts with a low at 147, and then the CPU clocks were high at 5.4 and low at 5 gigahertz. Now, when it comes to the actual testing, so Cinebench R23, this is at normalized. These are normalized tests, means I run them for 20 minutes. I left the liquid inside the AIO to equalize. So, for Cinebench R23, the idles were 35 with a max of 86. Blender Pavilion, idles 35 with a max of 85. Blender Classroom, idles 35 with a max of 85, and 3D Mark CPU test idles 35 with a max of 80. Okay, so for 100% fan speed, the power draw at high was 168 watts. The lows were 159, with the CPU clocks at high at 5.4 and low at 5.1. So already up in the performance. So exact same method, normalized for 20 minutes. So Cinebench R23, the idles 31 with a max of 82. The Blender Pavilion, idles 31 with a max of 81. Blender Classroom, idles 31 with a max of 80. And 3D Mark CPU test, idles 31 with a max of 77 Celsius. What I'm going to do by here now is actually put up a graph showing you how this performs against like the ones from Thermalright, the ones that I've previously done, just to give you a rough idea of how this actually performs against something that's considered more of a budget option. Now, I will be putting the One Division in this because this one, obviously the One Division is probably more expensive or around the same price as this. So it's going to give you an idea of how this performs against something that's high end from Thermalright. Now, obviously there's going to be some differences. Of course, lianli does have the better, more optimized software, but with Thermalright, of course, is the budget option, and obviously the price does give it that, you know, more saleability. Okay then, so what did you think of that? Now, first of all, I'm going to give you my impressions and what I actually think. Now, I love the screen. The screen does 500 nits peak brightness. It's very bright, and the quality of the LCD or the IPS display that's on there is very, very good. I like the overall fan design. Obviously, it is the CL fans, the ones like I previously used in my builds with lianli products. I do like those fans. I use those fans personally in my personal rig because I do like the overall lighting illumination. They're very, very easy to sync up as well. Now, this does feel more of a premium product. Obviously, with the AIO itself, it's got like a lianli aluminium cover on top, which does make it look rather striking, especially with the white. Now, this does come in two different variations. It comes with the ones without fans or the ones with fans, and it does come in two different colors, black or white. Now, whether you want to buy the fans, of course, separately, that's going to be up to you. Maybe you want to just buy just the AIO itself, just the radiator with the screen, and then just buy your own separate fans from lianli, something like the ones where they got little screens on. Now, that's going to be up to you. That's just, you know, that's up to you completely. I'm not really going to say anything there because it's going to be up to you. But what I'm going to say is I really love the screen. The screen is absolutely stunning. I love the white color. The aluminium touches on the AIO is definitely a fantastic touch to me, and personally I really like the overall AIO. So yeah, look, I've got absolute tons of stuff coming. I've got the lianli LANcool 217 Infinity case coming next week. I've got stuff coming from Thermaltake. I've got the RTX 5050 to still do. I've got loads of stuff here from Hatta. I've got stuff from Be Quiet. I've got absolute loads of stuff coming, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and week ahead of you. This was WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.